makes most women start a business? Is it passion, money, or freedom? Welcome to Female Founders, the podcast that takes you behind the scene with women who are founders and CEOs to help you start and scale a successful business of your own. I am your host, Nagelia de Ravin.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Female Founders. In today's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Mykim Tran. Dr. Tran is a humanistic psychologist and the inspiring founder of the Wake Up Foundation. Known for her engaging speaking and writing, she helps people become their best selves and making a positive impact in their communities. Dr. Tran, welcome and thank you so much for being here with me today. Can you start by telling me about your journey into humanistic psychology and what drew you to this field?
Well, when I first came to America, I always fascinated about the American dream. You know, as a young kid, coming from Vietnam, I learned about the American dream, and I learned a lot about motivational speaker. And so I would watch the video all the time as a teenager, you know, and I was inspired by them. And I want to just every time I listen to them, I just motivated and inspired. And when I hit my 20s, I want to do the same thing as them. So one day I love to speak. When I was in college, you know how we had to take communication classes as general ed, and so we had to take it to fulfill our requirement to graduate. And I found out that I love to speak. I enjoy speaking for classes, and sometimes I will always volunteer to go first. And so that's how I found out I love to speak. And so after I graduate, I say, what do I want to do? I want to be a speaker like them. So one day I was just laying on my bed, and the idea of becoming a motivational speaker came to my mind. And so I went for it. But another reason why my journey started, because at that time I was going through a lot of difficulty, low self-esteem and low self-confidence. However, I was able to overcome that in the 20s. And I found out that I was overweight when I was younger. And being overweight as an Asian girl is very tough. More tough than in American culture. Americans, I was not obese, you know, that is so overweight, but I was still overweight as a person. But being overweight in the Asian culture is a no-no. So people always make fun of me. And so I didn't have a good childhood outfit. But I was able to overcome that, to taking care of myself, eating better, increase my self-confidence. And because of that, my self-esteem and my self-confidence skyrocketed. And I found that I didn't need to look skinny to feel good about myself. And so I was still overweight at that time, but I was still so good about myself just by taking care of myself and learn how to increase my self-confidence. And so I was laying in my bed, and how can I combine my happiness and my speaking skill together? And that's how I decided to become a motivational speaker. So that's how my career started in 2010. I just want to motivate teenagers and inspire them that you don't need to look skinny to feel good about yourself. So I talk a lot about health and wellness, how to take care of yourself. And if you can do that, body, mind, and spirit, then it doesn't matter when you look on the outside, you will still be happy. So I just started my career as a journey to share my happiness with them. Well, of course, as I move along in life, I found out that it's not the lack of knowledge that is missing. Because as eating healthy, we know what we need to do to stay healthy, such as eating nutrition, exercise, getting sleep. We all know that, but why is it a lot of people have a hard time doing that? So during that time, I found out why did I have the motivation to stay healthy, but other people don't. So I found out it's more about motivation. What motivates individual to stay healthy, even though we have the knowledge. So I decided to take a course on psychology, introduction to psychology, to learn about the different motivation of a human being. And so when I was taking that course in a community college, I found the area of health psychology. And when I found out health psychology, I was so excited because that was what I want, because I want to learn about health in one aspect and the motivation behind it. And so when I found out that area, I got so excited. And so that's when I decided to pursue my master in health psychology, because I want to learn more about health and the motivation why people stay healthy and why people don't. So I pursued that as my master. However, as I went through my master, that's when I discovered the area of humanistic psychology, is human potential. And I found out that the best motivation that anyone can have is when they're doing something great for themselves, when they create meaning and purpose as a human being. And when they can have that, I believe that's the highest level of motivation as a human being. And that is, according to humanistic psychology, if you can have something great to work on daily, you will always have motivation to not do something great, but also to take good care of yourself. So that is when I discovered humanistic psychology doing my master program. That's when I found out that I was more aligned with personal development and human motivation. So that was when I decided to pursue my PhD in humanistic psychology. But what I learned in health psychology, I still use today, because health is still important. We need to have good health to reach our full potential, to be the best person we can be, and still come back to my starting purpose of helping teenagers feel good about themselves. If they have something meaningful in their life, they still feel good about themselves, which is a higher motivation. And that is the highest motivation as a human being when it comes to humanistic psychology. So that's how I fall into the humanistic psychology. So my journey started out like that, but I learned and evolved to something bigger. And I found out that's what a human being should do: learn and evolve along the way. We don't need to know everything up front, and we shouldn't. Because if we know everything up front, then we know everything about ourselves, and that's perfect. But as a human being, we are not. So it's a journey process of learning. And I found that as a human being, we can't know everything. It's only when we learn through it that we will discover more about ourselves. And I found out that that's the great thing about being a human being.
But I have a question for you, Dr. Tran. So when you mix them all now into your motivational speaker, right? So you mix your master degree and your PhD into what you are doing daily, which is motivate people to do better with their life. Is that what you did?
Yeah. So because motivate people to be better in their life, there's a lot of aspects, such as staying healthy. And so I will always still use my education in my bachelor degree, in my master degree, in my PhD degree to help people be better. Because health psychology is way more about health, and we need good health. So my health psychology will help in that aspect. But humanistic psychology is more about the motivation behind it. When people can have the right motivation, it doesn't matter what they do, then they will achieve it, such as health, relationship, career development, or whatever you want to achieve in life, with the right motivation, which where humanistic psychology come in, then everything else will fall. So, but I still teach a lot about health and wellness and well-being, because that's important to reach our full potential. So, so it's a combination. When I teach, it's a combination of health psychology, because health is not only about nutrition. It's also about emotional health. It's also about physical, mental, spiritual health. So it's all more combined together. But I approach today with humanistic as an individual, with the motivation behind it. And when people can have that with the right motivation, other things will come a lot easier.
A lot easier.
A lot easier, yes.
So now, what motivated you to establish the Wake Up Foundation? And can you share with us the core mission and objective behind it?
So I started my career in 2010. And then in 2012, I moved to an area called South Sacramento. And I moved there to work with somebody in the office. But when I was there, I encountered a lot of low-income students that is struggling with mental health. And still today, especially COVID, our mental health percent is increasing more. So I have a lot of students come to me with lack of direction in life, a lot of mental health issue. But at that time, I was doing it as a profit side, as a speaker on the side, as a profit. And a lot of low income would come to me, but when I tell them how much I charge, they couldn't afford it. So they had to walk away. And then during that time, I was lucky to meet a gentleman in that area who have a lot of connection with other people. And he encouraged me to start Wake Up Foundation, because Wake Up Foundation is a nonprofit. And so he knew what I was doing to help others, but of course on a profit side. So he encouraged me. He said to me, why don't you start a nonprofit to help the low income area? Because South Sacramento is a low income area. It's a poverty area. And so he encouraged me, why don't you start a nonprofit? And so he introduced me to a lot of community advocates to help me start the foundation. And so after I looked through what he said, I jumped on it to develop with the foundation to serve my community. And that was always something I wanted to do. When I started my career, I wanted to help my community, but I didn't really know how to get started or what is the best approach to go about it. But when he introduced me to the nonprofit and he gave me a lot of help to start it, because I didn't know what the nonprofit world is about. And so I was lucky to meet him, and he was able to introduce me to a lot of people, to about the legal stuff, how to run it, and meet other community aspects to support me. And so when I looked at it, all the paperwork, I say, okay. So I jumped on to the opportunity. So that's how Wake Up Foundation was found in 2013. So our mission at Wake Up Foundation is to educate and inspire youth and young adults to create a sense of belonging in the world, and what they do matter. And when they do that, when they create a sense of belonging to themselves and what they do make a difference, and they go back to human potential, it will give them the best motivation to do anything. If they need more energy, if they need more energy, they need motivation to take care of themselves. When they do something matters and they feel like they belong in life, they will have the motivation to do it. So that's how Wake Up Foundation developed. So to do that, our core services is personal development. We cover 6 areas to help them develop themselves, such as self-esteem, self-confidence, career development, more about discovering their passion. Because a lot of career development, they require students to take like a test or just like go out and do what they think is good. But we focus on more passion. We help them look at their life and see where their passion already in their life, because their passion already exists in their life. They're doing something that they're passionate about already daily, just that they have a hard time spotting it out. So our core aspect of career development is to help them see what they do daily already and where the passion is. And so that's our angle to help them discover their passion. And then we teach them entrepreneurship, how to, once they have a sense of what their passion is, then we motivate them to take action and test it out until they discover it. We also teach them goal setting. It's important to set goal, realistic goal with action step. Stress. We have to learn how to manage our stress. The big one. Because we're stressed out no matter what we're doing. So stress, we not only talk about stress, but how to help them become productive. Like do things more productive, how to schedule their time, how to lay out their priorities, which is important. A lot of youth, they don't know what is important in life that will get them. So stress management, yes, we not only cover stress like anxiety or worry, but we help them become more productive so they can get more things done. And last, of course, physical health. We want to make sure they have the energy and strength, because sometimes if you feel tired, then it's hard for you to be motivated to do things in life. So those are the 6 areas. And of course, personal transformation. Help them understand what is human potential. What is the purpose of being a human being? And that's a big key aspect to help youth understand is that as a human being, why do we burn out? What is important in life? How do we? What do we need to do? To help us be better. And a lot of times they don't have that understanding. And where do the best motivation come from? So like, for example, a lot of people focus on more external motivation instead of internal motivation. But the thing is, they don't know what internal motivation is. So we have to make sure that they understand that key aspect, the human potential. And when they can have that foundation, everything else will fall in. And that's why I fall in love with humanistic psychology, because when you have the right motivation and understand the capacity of being a human being, then we can make better decisions for ourselves, which will help us further in life. So,
do you focus? Is the nonprofit focus just with students?
Students the most, but no. We have a range. We have students from or any youth that's between 14 to 24. Yeah.
May I ask why you picked that age range?
Well, it first started out between 18 to 24 because I just want to help the young adult. Because at that time in college, I found out that a lot of college students and young ones were struggling, and so I wanted to. At that time when I first started out, my content was more related to them, that demographic. And so I want to target them. But then when I moved to South Side to work, a lot of teenagers would come to me, like 14, 15, 16, and 17. The high school kid was coming to me more. And so a lot come and I say, oh no, we target 18 to 24. So we have to let them go at the beginning. But then I found out that there was so many teenagers coming to us. And so that's how we expanded, lower our age range down to 14. But we started out at 18. But I found out today, I found out that kids today are a faster learner compared to us in the back old age. So to me, lowering down to 14 was not a big issue because they learn quicker, and I think they're more creative today than back then. So I felt that it was not an issue to do that.
Well, the thing is, I think also starting with that age is a great thing as well, because if you are targeting right before they hit college, it's like about 4 years before they hit college, and some of them start college at the age of 16, 10. So when you're targeting them so early, you're kind of getting them ready to position themselves for it. So I think it's
if you can hit them early before they have to deal with all the pain and they come to you, I think it's kind of better to kind of guide them before they even have to deal with the problem. So when the problem comes, they already know how to handle it themselves.
Yeah, I think that too. And that's why when I first started out my career, I want to target, you know what age I want to target? Between 4 to 10.
Ooh, you wanted to go very young.
Yeah, because I know that, because at that time, I really love kids, and at that time, I love to spend time with that age range. And I found out that at that time, they can start to understand and comprehend already. So when I teach them, they can like grasp in better, and because their mindset is not influenced yet. Because the older we get, we are more influenced by everybody in the media. But when they're young, they're not as influenced. So which means whatever I teach them, they can accept it faster. And then like you said, the sooner we can get them, it will prepare them. To prepare them to have a better understanding. And because like in a lot of time, like today, they don't know what's between internal and external motivation because they are influenced by society and the media so much already. But if I teach them at a young age when they don't have an understanding of those two aspects yet, but then they understand where I'm coming from, then they're more likely to take it in and see that, okay, this is the correct way because the media is not influenced them yet. But like, again, the reason why I target the 18 and the teenage because my content was more adaptable to them, and my content it was not adaptable for the younger generation. But I always have that in mind. What can I do to tackle the young one as soon as possible first? So.
And we need to, because they are the next generation. They are the ones that's gonna make the world a better place for us. Because as we're getting older, how much can we do really? And of course, they are following the wrong people usually, and they make the wrong decisions through social media. And parents got busy. We have to work. We come home late, and how much time do we really spend with our children? And that's another problem as well. So when you put them all together, so pretty much if they don't spend enough time with the parents, the role model become what's in social media. And again, the role model in social media, they're just trying to sell a brand. That's not 100% them. So they just pretending to be something they are not really is, so they can sell that brand. And unfortunately, our teenage fall for that, and they try to be like them. And being like them, it's impossible because them themselves is not like that. And that end up creating a bigger problem. And that's where self-esteem, that's where low self-esteem come into place. That's where they don't trust themselves, they don't believe in themselves, and a lot of problems happen. And again, they try to be some girls try to be as skinny as possible because they want to look like that person. But then you forgot that Photoshop exists for that. Where in reality, that person doesn't look that skinny really. It's just Photoshop that's doing a great job. So it's all these things. I think that I wish people wouldn't do that to our teens, and I wish that social media would be banned for teens. It's sad to say, but if there's going to be a social media for teens, it should just be for them. Adults are not included, where things are providing to them where to be the best they can be. And I think what you are doing, it's a great way to catch them early before when they hit college, things get even more complicated. They are away from home, they are by themselves. Sometimes they need to work and go to school. And I know I did it, and it wasn't that easy at all.
So, and then this refer back to educate them about being a human being, being a humanistic individual. Because we can teach them how to be a humanistic individual. That such as when you are being a humanistic individual, you tend to develop more positive qualities, such as kindness, compassion, appreciation, Because a humanist individual usually tend to do things that are good for the world. And when they do that, they develop those positive qualities that will overpower the negative that is coming in. Because we have to accept that the negative is there. We can't delete the media. We can't do anything about the negative, but the only thing we can do is counteract the negative. So we can't avoid the negative. We just learn how to counteract and be stronger than the negative. And so that's why humanistic psychology comes in, is learning what is the benefit of being a human being, the benefit of being a humanistic individual. And when you can see that, and when you keep doing that, then they will overpower the negative. But then kids are not being taught about humanistic trait, are not being taught about humanistic quality. And so if you don't, and I learned that as a human being in my PhD program, we have to learn. If no one teach us, then we don't know what exists. It's like in business also, I also learned in business that we don't know what we don't know until someone teach it to us. Until someone, it's like the nonprofit world. I don't really know what the nonprofit world is until someone teach it to me. But if I never met that friend to teach it to me, then I will never know. So, and that's why we need to be taught. And sometimes people think that as the children grow up, they will learn. There's certain things they do learn on their own. But when it comes to being a humanistic individual, human potential, those need to be learned, like math, science, history. The humanistic psychology need to be taught like any other subject. Otherwise, they will not know what it is. If we don't teach them English, how to write, they won't know how to write. And it's the same with being a humanistic individual. Someone has to teach us. Otherwise, we can learn, but it would take us a very long time. And it'll be too late by the time. It's same with English. We can learn on our own, and today we can. But we need more support. We do need to take time to learn about English on our own time, but we also need a teacher. We also need the parents to encourage us to learn and write English successfully. And it's the same with being a humanistic individual, understanding what your capacity is. We need all that support also. Yes, we need to take time to learn on ourselves. Our parents need to teach us. The teacher need to teach and support us. Even if parents don't know, then they need to support us. All that aspect. It's the same with all those English and writing. We need someone to teach us. But like again, today, school are not teaching us that.
Now, you also have your book, Self-Esteem Building, How to Live Your Life as You, as Being Influential. What key message do you hope readers take away from it?
Well, I wrote that book when I was doing my master program. The key aspect that I write in that book is to keep on learning, to do what you believe is right for you, no matter how hard it is. You need to make the right decision. And so in that book, give a lot of encouragement for the young generation or anybody to give them that motivation that you want to live the life as you, which means whatever you think is right for you, you need to test it out. Even if you fail, that is still okay. Failure doesn't decrease your self-esteem. Failure doesn't decrease your self-confidence. It's that act of just like taking action that will increase your self-esteem. That will increase your self-confidence. And that will help you learn more about yourself. So, but a lot of people think that, okay, if I fail, then my self-esteem will decrease. But that's not true. Because every time you take action in what you believe is right, then that act, no matter what the outcome is, it will increase your self-esteem and self-confidence. So that's
But now, go ahead.
And so that's a leadership trait. that I want to share with the young generation is that a leader test out that idea. And it's the bravery, it's the courage that they have that will help them.
But now you also co-author a book, Secrets to Drama-Free Love. What is it about, and what role self-esteem plays in relationship? Does it have any insight in that, and what you learn from it?
So I co-authored this person. She's a relationship expert, and she wanted to find somebody that talked about self-acceptance, self-love, and she was doing some research, and she found me, and I was at that time, like, I talked a lot about health psychology, which is self-esteem and self-confidence, and I talked about self-love. I do it that time in 2016. So she reached out to me and she said, would you like to contribute on the aspect of self-love to help people develop better relationship with others? And I said, okay, so it is true. I believe that all relationships start with you. And if you can build a strong relationship with yourself, you will become more positive. You will become have more energy. It's just your kindness shown. It's just you will become a nice person. And your personality is more attractive when you start to take care of yourself. And when you can do that, people want to be around you. And they want to be around, because who doesn't want to be around people that's positive, right? Because we all want to be around positive people. We all want to be around people that we can relate with. And so the best way I found that is to connect with others is to build a positive relationship with yourself. But most importantly, when you have a positive relationship with yourself, you build a foundation for yourself. So when you have trouble with your relationship, when you have conflict with others, when you have that foundation of self-love and self-acceptance, you can be better, tackle the challenges, be better, or be confident of tackle the challenges, and not let the other person take advantage of you. Because I found that a lot of times people get into abuse relationship because they are afraid. Their foundation is not strong enough, so they are afraid of something's going to happen to them when if they don't agree with their partner. But with self-love, with self-acceptance, you create a strong foundation for yourself, which means every time you have a challenges with the other person, you are confident to tackle it. Or most importantly, you are confident. You believe that you can build a relationship with the other person, that you can add value to the other person, and not feel like you have to rely on that person all the time, physically, mentally, emotionally. So build a strong relationship with yourself. So I wrote on my part of that book, I wrote about self-love and self-acceptance, and how when you can do that, you have a strong relationship with yourself where not only for you, but for the other person. They will see that, okay, that you can also take care of the other person. You can support the other person better by having a strong foundation for yourself. So that was my contribution to that book.
In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that a person needs to develop to become an effective social change agent?
I believe a social change agent, is a leader. So like in any social change agent, I wrote on leadership. You have to take initiative. Whatever you think, a leader, social change, for example, if a leader is a person that take action on the idea, to set example, correct? So which means whatever idea you have in your life, you want to take action and try it out. And I think that is a leader. If you do that in your life, personally, it's shown. It shows that you are taking initiative. And that when you do that in your personal life, then it will transform to the outside world to see that other people can see that. At social change, I think social change is being a role model. You be a role model for others because social learning is a theory that is still effective, which means when people look at you, they learn from you and they will copy it. And when they copy you, then you are an automatic leader. So be a role model is a good leadership skill, which means you want to be positive, do the right thing. When people can see that in your life, like that they get copied, and then you become a leader, that's how you create social change. There are different levels of social change. Individual, community, society, and the world. But a lot of people neglect the individual social change, and I believe that's the most important to start out. Be a role model is the individual aspect, because when you be a role model, you create social change in your family, in your friends, people in your neighbors. Because when you're a positive role model, then you are changing others because they are copying you. And when they improve because of you, because of your behavior, and they copy it, that is social change at the individual level. And I think that is a lot of time people neglect because especially people say, oh, I want to go out and do something great to create social change and change the world. Yes, that is great too. But if you can do that at the individual level, such as be a role model for yourself, for your sibling and family and your neighbor, and then you will create a lot of social change, because if everybody in your neighborhood can see you and they can take your example, then you are creating a massive community social change, because everybody in your community is changing because of you. Even though it might be individually changing, but as a collective source of that everybody in the community is changing, then that is changing the community. And if you can spread out your message even more, and people can see that you as a role model and they copy you all over the internet, then that is mass change. And so I think social change starts with the individual, and then I think it's the most impact. And it will spread out as you grow, as you focus on yourself, creating social change just for a few, and then it will continue to spread. It will continue to move forward. It's like passive forward. You know, if I can create social change just for one person, that person, if they truly are changing and improving, someone else will look at that, the second person, and change. And then another person will look at the third person and change. It will be like a domino effect. It will change one person after the other. I think, and I think that is humanistic psychology, and that is a humanistic individual. Being a humanistic individual, you can change a lot, but a lot of people underestimate the power of small act of kindness, doing a small thing for others to benefit others in your community, your neighbor. People underestimate that a lot, but I think that's one aspect of great social change.
So now, what advice would you give to our listeners who are seeking to find the path and reach their full potential?
So my advice is a journey. You don't need to know everything up front, because if you know everything up front, then you are perfect, and that's not human potential. I focus a lot about self-actualization. Self-actualization is at the top of the hierarchy of need of the pyramid, where on the bottom you have the survival need, and then we have the safety need, belonging, self-esteem, and then we have the actualization, which is at the top of human potential. So if you can reach there, then you are at the human potential level. But self-actualization is not about reaching the top, but it's about learning and growing daily. So if you are learning and growing daily, you are on the path of self-actualization. There's no end destination. So which means I encourage people to It's a journey. Whatever you think is correct for you at that moment, have the courage to take action and try it out. And then once you take action, you learn from it. And then you go out and learn new skill to improve it. And once you learn new skill to improve it, then you take the next action. And once you take the next action, you learn from your action, see what you need to learn and improve, and then make the next decision moving forward. And as you do that, you will learn a lot about yourself. You will learn more about your strength, more about your hidden strength. We have a lot of hidden strength that we don't know that exists until we take action and learn. So it's a journey. By doing that, you will learn and go, adapt as you grow. And that's human being. We learn new things as we develop. And that's exciting, I think.
It is.
Is to discover new thing about yourself. Every time you learn something new, and you have an aha moment. So, and that's how it should be. So, it's a journey. Like myself, humanistic psychology, I did not know until I want to become a humanistic psychologist until at the end of my PhD program. It's just that I just want to go into my PhD program because I just love the field. I just want to learn what the field is and to help myself along the way. Like in anything I do, is for me to understand myself. And a lot of times people think that is selfish, but the actualization start out, it's not. It's not out. Being is selfish. It's not about focusing on yourself. And as you learn and grow, that selflessness act will transcend to selflessness. And that is self-actualization because you will do so great for yourself. You will do so great for the community because of your strength, because of your passion, that what you do will transcend into selflessness. And that's self-actualization. So to make it clear is it's a learning journey. Do what you think is best for you in the moment. Learn as you grow. Be flexible. Allow the destination to reveal to you. Don't believe that you have to do this for the rest of your life. Don't believe that you have to stick to this path, what you think when you are 18 or 20, but allow the destination to be revealed to you as you learn and grow. Because we don't know what our destination is. We don't. As a human being, we don't know what our purpose is. I mean, we might have a clear understanding, but like our true core life purpose, I don't think we will ever know. And that's okay. But as you learn and grow, you will learn new things about yourself. And every time you learn new things about yourself, you want to take that in and accept it and use that as a journey to keep moving forward. And I think that's exciting. To learn new things, have an open mind to see whatever that new thing is, and then accept it, and then continue to learn. And when something new manifests for you, be excited, happy, and accept it, and continue moving forward and with life, because we will never truly know what we are meant to do in life. So
where do you see the biggest need for the kind of work the Wake Up Foundation is doing?
I think it's create a sense of belonging in the world. I think a lot of people, like a lot of time when students come to me, they feel lost. They feel disconnected. They feel like they are not only disconnected with the society, but they feel disconnect with themselves, others, in the community. And that's why, according to the survey that's done in California, a lot of them feel lonely and disconnected. And loneliness is not about having a lot of people, having no people in your life. It's about from within you. So I think one thing that we're trying to solve is to help them create a sense of belonging in the world, and that will help them fulfill that loss within them, with others, with the community, and with society. And then when they can do that, when they have that connection at all that level, then they are reaching the full potential. So we want to make sure that they have a sense of belonging in the world.
But Dr. Tran, for those inspired by your journey in the work, how can they get involved or support the Wake Up Foundation?
So we have a lot of volunteer opportunity. And again, one of my ambition is to start the life purpose and life meaning movement, where our goal is to help people understand meaning and purpose, and how can they do that in their daily life instantly, no matter how old or young they are. It's a movement. In the 1960s, psychologists and other educators start the Self-Esteem movement to motivate individuals to improve themselves, but that was not working. It does not help individuals motivate themselves to be better. And so I believe the best motivation comes from meaning and purpose, doing great. So again, I always have the passion for at the individual level. So if they want to support us, then they can do that in their individual life. Start to improve themselves. Start to do small acts of kindness. By doing that, it's a movement. If they can do that for themselves, everybody, then they are supported on mission. Do small things for themselves to help others, improve themselves daily, body, mind, and spirit. Go out there and create meaning at a small level. Like, again, creating meaning and purpose, helping others. Do it at a smaller level first. And once they can do it at a small level, then they can tackle the bigger level. So to support us basically is to take care of yourself.
For others.
To support others at the small level. Small act of kindness. Be friendly. Open up to others. Not be afraid to build a relationship with strangers that you don't know. That is building community. That is social change. A lot of time people say, "Oh, I don't want to talk to my community, my neighbor, because I don't know them, or it's not my job, or I need to stay in." But by building a relationship with your community, be friendly, start relationship with others. That is social change, and that is moving forward on mission.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Tran, for giving me the chance to talk to you, to learn more about the organization and all the great work you are doing with Wake Up Foundation. And I think you are targeting them the right age for they get to that self-esteem and that low self-esteem that sometimes that just go completely to zero. That also can create mental health issues, that can create so many different types of problems. As women, sometimes when we have low self-esteem, we eat a lot, and we actually sometimes use food as a way to make ourselves feel good. Like, for example, ice cream. It might be that thing that, okay, I'm mad, I don't feel well, I'm just going to grab it, I'm going to eat the whole thing and sitting watching TV. So I think where you're starting is the perfect age before we reach that level where we feel like the whole world is against us, when in reality that's not true. We just have to find ourselves and find our place and find our people that's going to be there and support us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Female Founders Podcast. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or connect with us on womel.com so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time. Bye for now.